It's been a while. Let's do this! Good morning, afternoon, evening everyone! Hi, my name is Myra and welcome back to my channel. Sorry if I sound a little bit more enthusiastic than usual because this is my first video in forever, I think. I think in about 1 or 2 months. I'm very sorry for the unexpected hiatus. It was December and January. It was a lot of free time and I've been catching up on movies and series and games. Who found Arkham series, guys? That's me. I'm the one who found what a great game Arkham series is when I was on vacation. So I'm still addicted to it. I'm in the middle of Arkham City and I will move on to Arkham Origins soon, and then I will finish it with Arkham... What is the other one? Oh, Arkham Knight. But today, right now, I will talk to you about one of my most anticipated movie that I really wanted to watch in January when it came to my theaters, to Indonesia's theaters, and I'll just start, and then I will let you know how I think or what I think about the movie as this video progresses on. But before I forget, and before you do anything else, please don't forget to click that bell button besides my subscribe button if you haven't, so you will be notified if I upload something new. Okay, so as a prelude to this review, Monster Hunter is a game that's been around since 2004, developed by Capcom. The premise is easy. You just have to hunt and possibly capture various monsters in your neighborhood. You have to be a little bit nitty-gritty about it, and not all monsters are bad. Some, like Palicos, this little cuties right here, actually helps you. The latest installment of the game is called Monster Hunter World, available on PC and PlayStation 4, and the future installment would be Monster Hunter Rise, a Nintendo Switch game that will appear on March. I found out about the movie first before I decided to download the copy of the game, the Monster Hunter World, and play it on my computer. I thought of it as research, not knowing that I will eventually enjoy every minute that I spent hunting, poking, prodding, killing, and carving those monsters on my screen. The game storyline was captivating. The gameplay itself was even more so. Eventually, it's only about killing unique monsters, but somehow they can make it not boring and repetitive, even though you basically do everything all over again. Kill and then you kill again and kill again. You can even kill the same monster several times. Even after the story is done in Monster Hunter World, I still have the urge to play. Not as often, but still, it has some magic left. But of course, now we have to talk about the movie. Oh my god. Before I begin, some synopsis is needed. I can make it short for you guys. Several rangers, led by Captain Artemis, have to find a missing convoy, who apparently just vanished into thin air. As they progress, they eventually found out why the others are missing. The people were transferred into another realm, which was where this current convoy led by Captain Artemis was heading. In there, they have to survive against the cruel world that happens to be filled with scary, huge monsters. That is it. That is the entire storyline. I will let you decide if that sounds bad or good. As always, if you haven't watched the movie, please stop here. And before watching the movie, I highly suggested that you play at least one of the games. You can find the latest game, Monster Hunter World, in Steam for PC or in PS4 online store, or maybe any offline store that you can find. Enjoy! I've played the games for a few months, and like I said, it was great, mind-blowing experience. So it is safe to assume that my expectations were elevated when I was about to watch the movie. However, as I sat down in the theater, I tried to calm myself and pushed myself to think, just have no expectations. That way, if the movie turns out to be not so great, I won't be so disappointed and can still see some good in all of the hopelessness. Turns out that was the right move. Just hear me out, okay? The very beginning was great. It reminded me of the game that I played because it was exactly the same scene, at least for me. Everyone on the boat starting their journey and then suddenly get attacked by monsters. I shed a tear or two because it reminded me of the beginning of my own adventure when I was playing the game. And it was nice to see it in a live action setting. But then came the main story, and that's when everything went downhill. The story was so simple. The writers just explained that the main character jump through a wormhole to another realm or another dimension filled with these monsters, and they have to survive in order for her, Artemis, to return home. They easily killed the entire fleet to make Artemis the sole survivor, even though how she became a survivor was weird already. How did Nursilla, those insect-looking things, basically slaughter everyone else except her, even though she's the one who came in contact with her first? With them first, I mean, with the Nursilla. I got so angry that I misspoke. What? It doesn't make any sense. There are a lot of other idiosyncrasies, such as the way Artemis communicates with the hunter, chocolate, and the bait part, which are the only two words they basically use to communicate towards each other. The story gaps such as Artemis' motivation to return and what happened with the rest of Hunter's family. And there are plenty more. So much more. But what disappointed me most was the game storyline is rife with complexity and branches that could confuse a man in a forest. I mean, it has layers and choices for anyone to choose to make a story out of it. But this movie only acts as a flimsy attachment to the actual storyline, which kinda hurts for people who enjoys the game. Here, of course, I'm talking about me, but if you feel the same way, please let me know. It feels like the writers definitely just taking the easy way out and not researching enough on the game. The Monster Hunter World characters made a brief appearance. I think there are 4 or 5 characters, including the hunter and the admiral. And of course, we cannot forget the Meowscular chef. But I definitely know that they can be so much more. Another part of the movie that I can't stand is the action sequences. There are a lot of them, but the camera movements made it impossible for me to enjoy them. Either the editor should take the blame or my country's censorship just decides to crap the bed. It happens on the hand-to-hand combat, on the fight with all of the monsters, even the big fights. Or maybe I just like close-up fighting too much? I don't know. I understand that those scenes should be the highlights, yet for me, they are a nuisance. But after all of that travesty, there are some highlights that I enjoy. I have to admit that the monsters, all of them looked very real. Kudos to everyone who is responsible for the CGI animation. They successfully creeped me out with lifelike monsters, which I think was the intention. When Rathalos appeared, it sent shockwave through my spine. There are also several gameplay involved, such as grappling hook, combining items, teamwork, and carving. I'm thankful that I can see them in this movie, showing that maybe they are not doing such a bad job after all. However, I am sad to say that they don't do it completely right. First, for me, they overused the grappling hook until it somehow became a key gadget to the continuation of the story and eventually the solution of the last fight. Like I said about the story before, this grappling hook sounds like the easy way out for, you know, to move the story forward. Fighting monsters is a tough feat for all the gamers, and this movie made it a bit easier than it has to be. Second, they made Rathalos looks and sounds like the badass monster and really the worst of all time. While in the game there are worse and more horrible monsters. Several are tied to the main storyline, which can very well be intertwined with this movie too. For my fellow gamers, for those of you who watch this, I'm talking about the Elder Dragons. Why won't they at least mention those creatures? I bet they could add some depth into the movie. Plus, there are plenty of other monsters that could serve as cameos. Maybe we can see like Kuliyakus in the background, which is essentially just a large featherless chicken. That shouldn't be hard to animate. So, after all that rant, both positive and negative, the question remains, should you watch this movie? If you are looking for action-packed fun without any regard to the game, sure, it was entertaining enough. But if you love the game and if you want to see if the movie has the same standards, don't bother. The creators misses a lot of important stuff. So I definitely think that this movie can be so much more. Monster Hunter game only looked simple or seemed simple, but actually has a great storyline and gameplay. This movie only show a fraction of what they have in store. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this movie review. I think it's a bit long than usual because I have like 3 pages of layout of what I'm supposed to talk about instead of 2 pages like usual. But I sincerely hope you like it. And if you do, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. They are all in my description below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye! Woohoo!